Welcome to Inside New Albany Football with Coach Cody Stubblefield. I'm Jody Walls.
I'm Brady Brock.
We're with Gumtree Mortgage here in New Albany over on Starling Avenue. We specialize in home financing needs, whether it's a purchase, a refinance, or new construction.
And we're super passionate about trying to help you find the home of your dreams, help you get it financed, just like this one right here.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Game. You come out and hit them in the mouth on the first play, we're going to be fine. This week's Tallahatchie Nutrition Players of the Week, we've got two of them. Parker Skinner. Parker had 12 tackles, 3 for a loss and a sack. Zion Robinson had 9 tackles and a big 65-yard touchdown, fumble recovery and touchdown. 2 huge plays, guys. Y'all did a great job defensively. Proud of y'all. Mr. Horn?
Yeah, very proud of you guys. Look forward to hosting the state dinner and having y'all there this year.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Go Bulldogs.
Hello, we'd like to welcome you today to Inside New Albany Football with Coach Cody Stubblefield. I'm Paul Henry and David Good, and our show is brought to us by
Jody Walls and Brady Brock over at Gumtree Mortgage. Those guys have sponsored the show the entire time we've done it, which, like you said, it's been a little while now, but we appreciate what they do at Gumtree Mortgage, and thanks for their support.
Yeah, I tell you, we've been doing the show now for about 5 years. Hey, a good thing is we're starting this year 5-0, aren't we?
Yeah, it's a first for us. It's first for you all in a long time, excited about that. Just the guys have worked their tail off, and it's been multiple years of work, right? It hadn't just been this year, this off season. You stacked those years of just trying to do things right, working hard together, and they've been there, they've bought in, they've done a tremendous job. We're excited about the success they're having this year.
Bulldogs got on the board early this week, 4:43 left in the first quarter. Zion, who was your player of the game, had a 65-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown. I believe it was caused by DJ on the sideline over there. So good to see the defense get on the board.
The defense has been doing well all year. They're flying around. We've got a lot of guys flying to the football. When you're doing that, good things are going to happen. I think we've had 4 different scores on defense all year. I know Jeb had a pick 6 early. DJ's had 1. We had a fumble recovery in the end zone with Gilbert, and then Zion's fumble recovery for a touchdown. So the defense is scoring some points. We also had a safety one game. So they're doing a great job. That was a huge boost for us. Like you said, that was the first points of the game. Got us up to a 7-point lead. But we can't thank our defense enough for the way they're playing, all the things they're doing. And Zion made a big play right there.
Well, I'll tell you what, going into the game, we knew Senatobia was going to be pretty tough, and they kind of came in as advertised, didn't they?
Yeah, Senatobia's always athletic. They played for a state championship 3 or 4 years ago, a while back with Coach Oakley. It may have been longer than that, but they're always year in and year out. They're a tremendous athletic. They're big. Their defensive line was a really physical group. Their offensive line, they had a guy that was 6'4", 400 pounds, huge on the right side. But they're good in multiple areas. They're athletic, do a lot of really good things, and they're well coached. So anytime you sign up and you're playing Senatobia, it's going to be a battle. It was a battle last year. We were really close. This year was another close game, but we found a way to win.
Yeah, we had Senatobia got on the board with 8 minutes and 27 seconds left going in the second quarter. The 6-yard run by Tabor and bring the score up 7-7.
Yeah, we had trouble with Tabor. Got to give that guy credit. Yeah. Really, really good player. Took multiple guys wrapping up to get him down a lot. But give our guys credit. They just kept battling. Sometimes you got to do that with a guy like him. He's going to get a lot of yards. Doesn't matter who's playing. Senatobia when they're playing offensively, Tabor's is going to be where they're getting the ball to. But we did just enough. He had a lot of runs. Took multiple guys trying to get him down, but we found a way to get it done.
Dogs retook the lead with 7 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the second quarter. 76-yard touchdown pass from Shettles to Simpson. Simpson did a good job going up and getting the ball.
He did.
Made a couple of good moves as well to get in the end zone.
It just made a play, right? We talk to our receivers all the time about, when you get the opportunity, when you get your number called, try to do special things with it. That particular play, ball was underthrown slightly, came back, made a play on the ball, caught it, and made a guy miss, scored a touchdown. Just a huge play for him. I know his confidence is up because of that. And probably started the year a little slow with Isaiah. And just has really come on the last 2 games, played well, playing the way we knew he was capable of, and just doing a really good job. If you look at us offensively from Friday night, it was frustrating. Just felt like we never got really going at times. We come back in and evaluate film, and we're so close on so many areas. That's what the message was to our guys this week. Just hey, keep doing what we're doing. Fine tune, fix a little bitty things, because there's a lot more out there on certain plays. But we were just half a block off, or just a little bit later, whatever the case may have been. We were so close. So, but on that play we weren't. That play, we made a great play, and Isaiah did a good job.
I think one thing that's real special about this group is just different weeks. You have different players stepping up and making those big plays, right?
Well, and we got a lot of guys out there. Like I said, we think we're a talented group. We're excited about it going into the year. A lot of anticipation and excitement built on it. And that's why you do that, right? Because we know we're talented. We know they have the ability to do that. And so each week you've seen different guys step up. The other thing that I think that we've done a tremendous job is keep on battling. We've had games where we're down early, or things weren't going right, but our guys have found a way to win. They kept scratching, kept clawing, and ultimately they've gotten the job done. But yeah, going back to Isaiah, just made a great play. Neighbors, gosh, really good running back there for Senatobia.
But Senatobia kind of took the second half kickoff, and the Dogs held them on a turnover on downs with 8 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the third quarter. So good job again by your defense to open up the second half.
Defense did good. The other thing we had two turnovers on the game. If you watched Senatobia, they hadn't been given turnovers. They've been really sound with the ball, and so that was something that Coach Murphy talked a lot about. Trying to find ways to create those turnovers, and give our guys some credit, because they came away with 2, and Senatobia, that hadn't happened with them all year. So proud of that too.
Yeah, in the third quarter again, Bulldogs get an interception with 6 minutes and 21 seconds left to go in the game. I'm sorry, we had an interception with 6 minutes to go in the game. Had a good drive going in the third quarter there, first time we had the ball. I thought in the play DJ got interfered with, because the guy actually tackled DJ before the ball ever got there, and they picked it off and got a good return on it from there.
Yeah, I know there was a couple of questionable pass interference calls. That one right there, like not getting. There was one defensively that they gave them a pass interference call, or on us. That I think we just did a really good job. Jay Boone made a good play on the ball, but officials, they've got to do things. They've got to do their job. I don't think they're typically trying to mess up or miss a call. But there's a lot of stuff out there to see. But I certainly think some of those have big implications as far as how the game goes and whatnot. So, DJ, that particular play, again, we said earlier, we're kind of scratching, trying to find a way to get the ball moving. We want to have explosive plays from time to time. DJ is a guy that we want to get the ball to a lot too. So it was just a slant. We call it smoke, but it was a double post move with DJ wheeling off the backfield. And if you look at it, Jeb is open underneath, but that's not where we told Brady to look for early. So if we had to do it again, we would have worked our progression, check down to him. But a lot of times we're going to tell them too, give a guy a shot. So that's what happened. And ultimately that cornerback fell off the post and was right there for it. So that was a play call and a situation where we're probably pressing a little bit too hard, and put one up for them, and they ended up coming away with it.
Yeah, you mentioned we struggled a little bit with our running game, but in the fourth quarter, with 10 minutes 45 seconds remaining in the game, Boyd put the Bulldogs up on with a lead on a 16-yard run. Then we got a 2-point conversion by Shettles to make it a 22-19 ball game.
Offensively, we're going to always try to run the football. Whether that's our inside zone game or trap, we run a lot of inside trap. And trap can get stopped multiple times, and all of a sudden it pops like that play, and it's a big play. So second week in a row, Nehemiah's had a big run off of an inside trap play and got in the end zone. Nehemiah does a good job. He knows what he's supposed to do. He runs his feet. You can count on him. We go back into it, and we, like I said, didn't feel like we ran the ball as effectively as we should have. But Nehemiah's averaging 5 yards a carry. That's pretty good for a running back. It's not bad. So we got to keep giving him touches, keep giving him the ball, and know that offensive line, we're going to keep chipping away at it. I think offensively, other than just being close on a lot of different things, we had some penalties that killed drives. So just need to clean some stuff up offensively. I think what we do works, and I think we've got the players to do it. Just certainly need to clean some stuff up a little bit better and finish some blocks.
Yeah. 20 seconds left to go in the game, get a 39-yard field goal by Grayson Alexander. So put a few more points on the board there late to because I know last week that Senatobia had won a game in overtime on a field goal.
They've got a really good kicker. I know he missed an extra point earlier, but he's a really good player for them. Just that goes to kind of shows you our confidence in Grayson when he's out there. He's been battling with a little bit of an injury previous too, but he was able to go. He's feeling good now. And just if it's inside of 40, you're going to give the guy a shot at it, you know. So, and really can stretch it out outside of that because he can kick it from 50. You know, so just felt like we needed, you know, more than a three-point lead. Had enough confidence in him to do it, and so that's why we did it. You know, it was originally, I think it was 4th and 2, 4th and 3. So, you know, from an offensive line standpoint background that I have, want to just go get it. Want to be able to run the ball and get 3 yards when we've got to have it. But what, you know, told Colin, told the rest of our guys, we should have done it on 3rd down. You know, right. So we didn't. We weren't able to. Let's give our kicker a chance to put us up by, you know, more than 3 because we got the confidence in him, and so that's what we did.
Not only did he get a field goal, he had a couple extra points that he kicked, and then he averaged 46 yards punting on 3 punts with a long of 50 yards, and also handled the kickoff duty. So good job with Grayson.
Grayson does a good job. You know, Caleb can come in and do a lot of it too. They've both been banged up. You know, we had another young man, Cooper Wallace, kicked a lot at practice, and has done a really good job at practice. So it's amazing to me some of the talented guys we've got in our special teams. You know, all 3 of those guys are soccer players. But, you know, they do a good job. Grayson is extremely talented and special. You know, you've seen Caleb George come in, and Caleb can punt the ball. I mean, it's amazing some of the way he can punt the ball sometimes too. So, you know, you will also see him continue to do it some. And then those guys bang down. We have to go out there and practice. Say, all right, guys, you know, we've seen Jeb kick some. We've seen Cooper Wallace kick some. Parker Hicks is out there, you know, kicking some and punts and whatnot. So pre-practice we do a lot of special teams. But we gave Cooper Wallace a shot, and he started doing it and got better and better. You know, he practiced all week kicking, and then Grayson was able to go Friday night. So, you know, what you saw out of Grayson was him after not really feeling well and getting a lot of reps during the week, but still able to come out there and do that.
Total offense for the Bulldogs, 276 yards, 186 of those passing, 90 rushing. And the other thing that I was impressed with is 6 of 11 on 3rd down. So make some good decisions on 3rd down.
You know, Braden did a really good job extending plays. There were some plays, you know, the 2-point conversion where we're rolling right. He ends up reversing field and gets in on the left. There was a huge 3rd down conversion where he got wrapped up multiple times, able to squirt out of it, and found Jeb down the field. Just a lot of really good times. One of them, he ran for the 1st down. One of them, he scrambled into the play, found Jeb down the field. So third down conversions are huge. It doesn't matter every week. Like I said, I felt like we were struggling offensively a little bit, but we made plays when we had to. Braden specifically did a really good job of extending plays and getting the job done.
Well, I definitely think that late in the game when he was able to get a couple 1st down scrambling, you know, it was huge for us.
The one play, like I said, that he ran for 3rd down was a special play. There's no doubt. I mean, he got wrapped up multiple times, spun out of it, and gave us a chance. Braden's always going to give us a chance offensively. You know, doesn't matter what's going on. He's gifted and talented enough and is smart enough and knows what we want to do to where he can do some things. You know, even when he's wrapped up.
I showed Braden 11 for 19, 186 yards and a touchdown, 1 interception. Also rushed for 8 times for 45 yards. On the season, 84 of 115 for 1,225 yards, 73% completion rate, 10 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
You know, a high school guy over 60 is great. Over 70 is phenomenal. Right. You know, he's had multiple games where he's been over 80. So there's good. The other thing that Braden's doing, he's running the football effectively. You know, he's had an ankle issue that has been he's having to overcome and whatnot. He finally feels like it feels better. But you know, we went into the season thinking and knowing that we needed Braden to run the football. He's grown, he's stronger. You're going to see that. I think one of our best plays is a power read play where he can give the ball on outside zone, or he can keep it underneath. You're seeing him do that a lot, and we've had a lot of success there. So expect to see Braden run more and more.
Yeah. Nemo continues to be a workhorse for you there in the backfield. 7 carries, 35 hard yards and a touchdown. 59 carries for 334 yards and 5 touchdowns on the season. So kind of quiet, but he gets his numbers.
Getting it done.
He's kind of quiet but effective. Like I said, you know, he's scratching and clawing, but then he's also had a big run on the last 2 weeks. You know, both of them touchdown, both of them inside trap play. Nemo is kind of Mr. Reliable. You know, he does what he's supposed to do. He works hard. He's going to be here every day. You know, and just so we're excited about the senior year he's having. He's a guy that's had to work his tail off, never really been the guy. He's getting to do that this year, and so we're proud of that. You know, he had an injury late in the game. You know, he's battling an ankle issue now. You know, a high ankle sprain. We came in here on Monday, talked to him over the weekend. You know, it's hurt and that kind of thing. Drew evaluated him after the game. On Monday, I think it was big. You know, I mean, it's as big as ankle as I've seen. So, he's got he's going to push through that. You know, he's going to make sure he continues to get treatment. We're very fortunate to have Drew Davis here, you know, and Athletico that provides him, you know. So our guys are well taken care of under Drew, but you know we know Nemo's going to bounce back and be able to go pretty soon.
We mentioned Simpson, but DJ also with 5 catches for 34 yards. He has 22 catches for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns on the season.
You know, DJ, we've got guys on the team that we've got to get the ball to. DJ's one of those guys. Jeb's one of those guys. You know, when you run a spread offense, there's multiple guys, and we were fortunate to have multiple guys that can do things with the ball. The only thing we have to do is try to get them all the ball, which can be complicated. It can, you know, certain ones are better at this and that. You know, Jeb runs great routes. He knows he understands spacing, and he knows when to set down and when to carry. And if his hands touch, he made a phenomenal play where he kind of converted a route earlier in the game. You know, it was a big play. We run what we call choice middle, where we're trying to stretch the middle of the field with DJ. Well, his corner bailed in the cover 3 look, so there's no reason for him to run the corner. So he bent it back to the middle of the field. Braden extended the play, found him, was a huge play, made a huge catch. I mean, just kind of a pirouette where he turned his body, made a great catch. But, you know, he's extremely good at what he does. DJ is our guy that we got to get the ball in his hands in some space because he can make people miss. We probably need to run the ball, throw flair to him more, just where we swing him out and get him the ball. When we do that, we've got to block better receivers. So that's kind of film evaluation stuff that we do. As Xavier Coleman, we found that he can stretch the field. You know, I threw a deep post to him early in the game, just didn't quite come down with it. But we're going to keep taking shots with him. Isaiah Simpson, you know, is just when he gets the ball in his hands, he's able to do some special stuff too. So, and then you go back to running back where you got guys like Nemo. You're going to see Jaden Hicks continue to do it some. You may see Parker Skinner in there some this week. You know, due to Nemo being banged up, you're going to see a young guy named Colin Knox do it. You know, Colin is a little brother of Cameron Knox. You know, so he's got a lot of ability. So, biggest thing is running a spread offense. We've got the guys to do it. They're all capable of doing really good things, and sometimes it's hard to get them all the ball. So,
Good deal.
Well, we're going to take it to a break, and I think Mr. Good's going to talk to a couple of our defensive guys in just a minute. So we'll take it to a break and be back with you in just a few minutes.
It's finally game time. The smell of the fresh cut grass, the sound of the drums as the band gets ready to perform, and of course the roar of the crowd as our hometown New Albany Bulldogs enter the field. Jody Walls and Brady Brock with Gumtree Mortgage here in New Albany remember those days and agree they were some of the best. They also want your mortgage experience to be the best as well. They pride themselves on excellent customer service and establishing a personal connection with their clients. They also have the knowledge and programs to fit your mortgage needs. So whether you're building, buying, or refinancing your current home, they want to help. Call them and set up an appointment today. Jody Walls and Brady Brock with Gumtree Mortgage. Let them help make your dreams come true. Go Dogs!
All right, guys, get the pleasure of talking to a few of our guys right here. One of them, Zion Robinson, is a senior for us, linebacker. Parker Skinner is a junior for us. Both these guys were players of the week from Tallahatchie Nutrition. Excited about how our defense is playing, guys. I know over the years y'all both played offense and defense. Have kind of priority has been defense. Do a tremendous job at linebacker. You know, we run a 4-3. So 2 of our 3 linebackers are here with me today. Zion, senior year, you know, we're 5-0 right now. Talk a little bit about preparation going into this year. We knew we were talented, right? We knew it was going to be a good year. Talk a little bit about preparation, what it's meant to you.
So just coming to practice every day, making sure that everybody's on task, and just kind of trying to put in the hard work, making sure that everybody is on the same page, because our end goal is just to make it to state.
Zion, you know, over the years when we first got to New Albany, I can remember guys just, you know, being ecstatic. You know, it was Loden Bowl and Zach Ball. Zach just being ecstatic that we beat Ripley that year. They had a winning season. It's a little bit different where we're at right now. You know, you guys have had winning seasons. You've stacked those on top of each other. We're kind of pushing for something beyond that, right? We don't want to just get in the playoffs. We want to make a run in the playoffs, right? So, you know, that goes back to what you guys have done. Parker, junior, not a senior. You know, we get to have you next year. You know, played early as a freshman. Have had to overcome some injuries and whatnot. We had to overcome a lot of injuries last year when our linebackers got hurt. I can remember we played Senatobia the year before. You know, we were out Drew Hobson, we were out Keener, and then you decided to get hurt against Senatobia too, so we were down linebackers. But you've had to overcome injuries. This year you've been healthy. You know, talk a little bit about, you know, your success and the defense's success this year on defense.
I think most of us are healthy this year, and I think we're just ready to do better things this year and make a long run in the playoffs.
You know, Parker, I would call you our thumper back there. You know, you're the inside linebacker. You know, against guys like Pontotoc and some other teams where we have to tackle dive, it's just over and over and over. You tackle the fullback, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, offensive linemen get in your way, but you have to get around those things. How difficult is that to tackle a fullback, play in and play out? And you know, different offenses show you different things, but to have that mindset and to be that tough guy that's just going to keep pounding the ball, what is that like?
Well, you can't go slow up in there. If you go slow, you're finna get hit. You got to go full speed every time because I know they're coming full speed. You just got to hit them hard as you can, get them down.
Football, a tough sport, guys. I mean, what does it take to be good linebackers in high school football?
You really just got to overcome a lot of mental stress and just put away that you're hurting right now and just make the tackle.
Yeah. So Coach Summers coaches both of you. You know, I know we've got a defensive staff that consists of Coach Kendall Murphy, Coach Sean Saints, Coach Cox, and Coach Ryan Summers. Basically, all those guys do defense. Primarily, Coach Summers, Coach Cox work with you guys. You know, I see y'all in pre-practice every day. What's the first thing y'all are doing? Steps. Why are those steps important? Why does Coach Summers spend so much time with those things?
So that you can try to beat the O-lineman off their blocks.
That's right.
Well, yeah, so if you can beat them there, you won't have to mess with them later on.
Gotcha.
It's steps. Like, we'll go right step, left step, run through, redirect. Redirect might be the most important one because, like last week, the running back cut back a bunch, so we go right, and you had to redirect left really quickly, where they wouldn't get to you.
You know, played some good teams. You know, we talked about our schedule. We're not playing cupcakes all the way through. You know, we're 5-0. We all played some really good competition. Had some really good running backs. Corinth, number 5, was a really good running back. You know, Pontotoc, number 5, was a really good fullback that ran the ball hard. Maybe the best one was this past week against Senatobia. Tabors, number 2. You know, what's our mindset? How do we, you know, what do we do when we go up against those talented guys? Because a lot of people put the best guy at running back because they know they're going to hand it over and over again, right? So that's what you see. What about Tabors, and how did we, you know, what do we have to do against him to stop him?
Just run through your gaps full speed and meet him in the backfield. Give him no space.
So right now we've got into division play. You know, got the biggest win against Senatobia. That kind of sets the table. You know, we're going to Byhalia, going to North Pontotoc, and then we'll finish with South Pontotoc before we play our big rival Ripley. You know, what do we got to do kind of pushing forward to continue to play the way we are defensively, but also, like I said, go through that stretch, you know, for the playoffs?
Continue to play hard. Don't let down. You know, don't get comfortable.
Yeah.
Just keep on pounding away.
Well, you guys are leaders for us, not only on the defense, but also on the team. You know, you guys keep doing what you've been doing. You know, every day we go out to practice. It's brutal sometimes, right? Football practice is not always fun. You keep having to do the same things over and over and over again, trying to get better and better at them. But you guys are leaders. You're vocal for us. You know, the big thing I want to see us do is continue just to push, right? We got to keep battling, got to keep going. And those young guys, year in, year out, those young guys are watching our older guys. You are some of our older guys, so keep being implemental, keep making sure they're following you by example, and keep leading for us, guys. But we appreciate what y'all do, and I'm really glad we are having a great senior year and great junior year, you know, and just we got to keep rolling, right?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you guys. You know, we're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit more about, you know, Byhalia coming up next week. So, but excited to get to spend some time with these guys, talk a little defense, talk a little linebacker play.
I'd like to welcome you back to Inside New Albany Football with Coach Cody Stubblefield. Well, Coach, we're 5-0. We're rolling into Byhalia Friday night, hoping to be 6-0, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Byhalia, you know, we're going to travel to them. I believe it's homecoming, if I'm not mistaken. I've heard that. I don't know for sure whether it is or not.
It usually is every time we go out there.
But I have heard that, so they're going to be excited about playing. You know, Byhalia is a team. The new head coach wasn't there last year, so you don't really know if things are new for them a little bit. But Byhalia is always athletic. They've always got some guys that if you don't tackle well, if you don't break down, can hurt you. And they're typically big. Their offensive line's a big group, you know. So, you know, the results, they haven't had a good year so far, but we've got to go in and just make sure we take care of us. You know, we offensively, we talked a lot about fine-tuning, fixing little things, you know, not giving defenses or offenses anything. And then defense, we got to continue to tackle better and better and build on that. But it's going to be a tough task, and we're excited about going to Byhalia.
Well, I know anything, when you talk about Byhalia, they always have good athletes, right? They look pretty, they can run, jump real fast, so that's pretty much any sport, football, not a...
Yeah, and like I said, they've got tremendous athletes. I think we're certainly the better football team. I think we play a better brand of football. I think our guys are better prepared. And, you know, I feel like we'll be successful Friday night for sure. I don't expect anything less for us to be 6-0 coming back there. But anytime you travel, anytime, you know, you're going to homecoming, you're going into a different environment, whatnot, I want to see our guys come out, respond, play well. I had a big win. Anytime you have a big win, you worry about a letdown that next week. So the message this week has just been, staying focused, doing what we do, and trying to fine tune and get better and better at what we do. Because, like I said, we're not going to go and just totally alter the offense. We're going to get better at it. Defensively, we may tweak a few things week to week depending on the offense, but we do what we do, and we're going to try to, again, keep getting better. I think if you overly complicate things, if you keep changing, you never truly get good at anything.
Speaking of that, every year since 2021, Byhalia has had a new coach. It's kind of tough to build consistency and all that kind of stuff. The new guy that they've got this year, Johnny Loper, it's in his first year, but he came from North Point Christian, so I think he was there a couple of years. But he's got some valuable experience, and I think he played some indoor football in the pro leagues in Memphis. So.
I don't know Coach Loper very well. I know Coach Curbo. Like you said, you talked about him being from North Point. Coach Curbo spent some time at North Point. So I know they know each other. He's a DeSoto County guy. Based on that, so he's coming down, driving down to Byhalia, trying to do things right, trying to get the program established. But I think you're right. Anytime you have that kind of turnover, it's hard to build consistency. Right. Kids don't know, so much more of football is more than just practicing, just preparation. It's the off season. It's lifting weights. It's building relationships with those guys, making sure they're doing what they're supposed to. If you've got a different guy every year, those things are hard to do for sure.
Well, and I think this team kind of embodies that, because you've got these guys that have been with you now for 4 years, and these seniors are leading the right way, and I think it's showing on the field every Friday night.
7 years, these guys, from the time they were in middle school, we were here. They were sixth graders getting ready to play seventh grade football, and Coach Duncan was here with them, and our staff at the high school was here. So, we've added bits and pieces of it. We've had, Coach Curbo left for a year. We've added Coach Cox. Coach Summers came in after Coach Murphy came back to be the DC. But I think the bulk of it, and we've been here, a lot of us, that whole time. So they've gotten to see that. They've had that consistency. And they know what to expect. We've talked about that before. They know what practice is going to be like on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It may change a little bit, and it's going to, especially depending on if we play on Thursday or Friday. But they know what to expect. They're not getting surprised day in and day out. And I think that helps you to be more consistent.
Byhalia started off the year with a loss to H.W. Byers 14-8. Then they lost to Independence 40-6, and they lost to Hernando 37-6. This past week lost to West Lowndes 54-22. So they're putting a few points on the board.
Yeah. Well, I think that just goes back to some athletes they've got. They can get loose, and if you don't tackle well, if you give an extra chance, they can hurt you and go score. Like you said, not a lot of wins there. So a team that's trying to build, trying to grow. Hopefully those kids, like you said, Coach Loper, he's able to continue their pass this year. But the big thing is we want to focus on us this week. We want to make sure we try to get healthy. We got Nemo battling ankle injury. We got some other guys banged up. Do what we do. Have a great week of preparation. Don't have that letdown. You don't want to focus on that, but you just want to focus on getting better and better. And so our guys have responded well this week in practice. They know that, hey, this is not an off week or anything like that, that we've got to get better. And I think that goes back to those seniors that have been in the program for so long that have that expectation. And just, they're not going to be satisfied winning one game in the playoffs. We want to make a run. We're in our second phase of the season, right? We've done most of the non-division, even though Ripley, we've got one more non-division game. But now we're in the heart of our division schedule. Every one of them matters. We don't want to open the door. We started off with a great win. We don't want to open the door for anybody else.
Got to handle business.
Absolutely.
I looked at back at the schedule this past week, and we've been through 4 really tough games. You mentioned it earlier in the last segment, with Corinth, with Itawamba, with Pontotoc, and this past week with Senatobi. So 4 really tough games for the Bulldogs.
And I think those are very comparable playoff teams that we're going to play down the road. If we win the division like we plan to, we're going to go and play a matchup with the number 3 region that's going to have Houston, Louisville, Kosciuszko, and Greenwood in it. All 4 of those are good football teams, so it's not like you get into the playoffs, it's going to get easy. You're going to have to turn it up another notch. So, and then you get past them, you're going to probably play the number 2 out of Region 1. That may be Itawamba, that could be Amory, another good football team, whoever that may be. So I think, and my hope is that that tough non-division schedule right there that we've battled through is going to pay dividends down that road in that playoff stretch.
You feel like forward like the SEC, and it's kind of there's no rest for the weary, isn't it?
I mean, it's tough. Like I said, there's nobody on our schedule that you look at in our non-division play and say, hey, you don't have to worry about them. Right. just every one of us. You play Saltillo, who doesn't have a great wins and loss record, but they're a 6A team that you better prepare for, or they're going to be physical enough to beat you. And then you get into Corinth, who had a tremendous quarterback running back combination. And then you go, like you said, then you get into Towamba, who's won more games than anybody in North Mississippi just about over the past decade, probably. And then it doesn't get any easier. Pontotoc, who's a really physical team that ran that flex bone offense, and is well coached with Jeff Carter. And then you get into Senatobia. So tough stretch right there. Give our guys a lot of credit because they just battled and they found a way every one of those games. And 5-0 is not easy. It's a special thing for these guys, and I'm so proud that they're getting to experience it.
Bulldogs are 9-2 versus Byhalia. Last year, the Bulldogs came away with a 49-20 win, won 8 straight over the Indians.
Yeah, and it goes back to some of that consistency I think we talked about. They've been kind of searching the past few years. And year in and year out, we think we're going to beat Byhalia, right? And that's just, I think a lot of teams, early in our stint here, Corinth was one of those measuring sticks for us we talked a lot about. And I feel like teams kind of get sticker shock a little bit, that, oh man, we're playing Corinth, or, we're playing West Point or Tupelo, whatever the case may be, right? You can see that sticker on a program that's been successful over and over again, and you got to get over that somehow or another. I think that sticker on that helmet right now means that to some other teams that we play. I think, when Byhalia and North Pontotoc and South and some of those other teams, they know who North Pontotoc is. They've seen the success we've got, and I'm hoping there's a little bit of sticker shock there with us. I think that's why part of the reason, we've won the last eight games against them. But, again, that's a credit to those guys, and that's what we want to build here in New Albany.
What are you seeing from the offense at Byhalia?
But they're kind of multiple. They will spread it out some, but they'll also get into a little T formation. Multiple guys can score. Number 19, number 1, our guys that we've got to be aware of. They're big up front. It's kind of interesting. They'll run quarterback sneak on 1st and 10. And then they'll turn around, they'll get 5 yards, and they'll run quarterback sneak again on 2nd down. So you don't see that very much. That's a credit to the big physical offensive line. But so that T formation that they like to do, and then spread, just doing 2 by 2 are what you see the most. From a defensive standpoint, they're going to be an even front. They're going to have 4 guys down. They're really going to look similar to our defense. They're going to have it's a 4-2-5. So if you have 2 safeties up, you'll have basically 2 backers in the box and an extra outside linebacker. If they bring a safety down and have 1 in the middle of the field, it'll look like a split 4. But both of them even fronts. Both of them, our guys get to prepare for that a lot because that's what Coach Murphy and the defensive guys have gone to. So it should be something we're very familiar with. We got to take great angles. We've got to have great stance on the offensive line. We got to take great steps. We got to be physical with our punch and driving our feet. Braden's got to make good decisions. Our guys, when they get chances to catch the ball, they got to catch them. We got to block on the edge better than we did last week. And we've got to limit penalties. Offense and defensively. I think previous games, defensively, we've given teams too much. We've given second chances, whether that's from pass interference calls or personal fouls or just jumping off sides. We're really good defensively. We don't need to give teams anything, though. Offensively, we don't ever want to start behind the sticks. It needs to be 1st and 10. We need to have positive yards and go to 2nd down. We don't need to shoot ourselves in the foot and be in a 1st and 20 situation because those are hard to overcome. So we just want to be disciplined, want to make sure we don't give teams anything.
I know you mentioned SEC earlier today. I just will remind you that Alabama did play Vanderbilt this past week.
And it did turn out well for
60-0.
Alabama, did it?
Yeah, so we talked about that Monday. We came in here, playing Byhalia, having a big win. Don't have that letdown, because it does happen. Vanderbilt, very few times is Alabama going to get beat by Vanderbilt.
Right.
I think very few times Byhalia is going to beat New Albany. It can happen if you don't do what you're supposed to. So that's why we focus on just doing what we're supposed to do, not having that letdown, playing our game. We're too talented to let Byhalia to beat us this year. But things can happen. We gotta work and try to avoid that certainly.
I know you're 5-0 on the season, but how satisfied are you with your squad at this point of the season?
I think it goes back to the tough games that we played thus far. Those are games that you feel like you schedule those games, you can win every one of them. There are also games that you could potentially lose every one because they're really quality opponents. So the fact that we've found ways, we've scratched and clawed and just kept going, it's a huge testament to those guys. We're really proud of them. I think they get to walk around town with a little bit of swagger, a little bit of confidence. I know I get to, our coaching staff gets to. And it's fun and it means a lot, Success is always good. Doesn't matter whether you're playing checkers or basketball or whatever the case may be, right? But I'm really pleased with them. I think they're working hard. I think they're going to get better and better at limiting some of those things we talked about, giving other opponents stuff. Our focus is there. We're talking a lot about it. The other thing is, I want it to be fun for them. I want it to be special for them. I think this season and what these guys are doing in this locker room, on the practice field, and on the game field are times they're going to remember for the rest of their life. I know we've had a lot of conversation about your career, my career. It's special for them, and I'm happy for them.
Well, I can tell you the fans have gotten great. I mean, the ball games have been awesome. Now, I've been on the edge of my chair a little too much, more than and we talked about that a little bit.
Down, but I've been nervous at the time too, you know. But
our kids have had grit. You know, they've battled through and came out on the right end.
Football season is a constant strain. You know, you keep working, you keep pushing, you keep trying to find a way. That's what our guys are doing. You know, there's a lot of nights and after practice, whether they're tired, coaches are tired. But the results have been great, and they're just got to keep pushing.
Best of luck Friday night, Coach.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate our community, like you said. The atmosphere at Kitchen Field has been great. We want people. They've been tailgating before. We had band night. We had #1 band. So many things that New Albany School District is doing. We certainly want Friday nights, Kitchen Field, that to be the place to be. We love the fact that we do the live stream, but if you're in town, by all means, come out and do it. Do like the coaches do. We're going to go out there, be a part of it. First thing we're going to do after everybody gets out here, we're going to turn it on the TV and we're going to listen to you guys talk on the live stream. So it's great that we have that availability to us and they're able to do it. But yeah, I just appreciate our community, appreciate everything our school district does, and excited, like you said, excited to be 5-0.
Well, we hope to hear Kurt on the radio saying taking it to the land of milk and honey.
That's right.
A lot.
That's right.
We want to be hearing that a lot on the radio, right?
That's right.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, well, thank you for tuning in to Inside New Albany Football with Coach Cody Stubblefield. I'm Paul Henry and David Good. The show is brought to you by
Jody Walls Brady Brock at Gumtree Mortgage. Again, I want to thank them specifically for supporting us and all they do. So if you've got any mortgage needs, make sure you go see those two guys.
Thank you, and go Dogs.